Hey everyone, so being a big fan of The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, first John Green book I've ever read, I decided to pick up Paper Towns. While it still deals with basic human aspects and things that you can really relate to, is quite different from The Fault in Our Stars, as it should be, because no author should write 3 or 4 of the same kind of book and have them all seem like rehashes of the first one, should they? Okay, so basically, you've got these two main characters, there's Quentin, and then there's Margot Roth Spiegelman. The reason I say her name altogether is because that's the way it is set in this book, and you cannot help but think of her as Margot Roth Spiegelman after reading this book. So now I could read off the back to you, but honestly I'm just going to tell you a basic synopsis about what this book is about. First of all, you've got Quentin. He's this kind of like conserved, smart kid who just doesn't ever really think about doing anything crazy because that's just not the kind of kid he is. But then you've got Margot, who has already done so much, and she just kind of can leave on the spur of a moment and not give any kind of notice and then come back and everybody just be okay with that because that's the kind of person she is. She's a little out there, but she's pretty awesome and everybody loves her. Well, one day, Margot she's gone. Quentin is kind of worried about her because they hadn't been friends for a really long time. They sort of got into different groups in high school. She was sort of the popular one type and he was like kind of band, hung around with the band people and things. She just disappears one day. Quentin gets kind of worried because he's like, everybody else is like, she'll come back, the detectives, he's just like, whatever, she's done this a million times before, got a million other cases, cannot deal with this right now. And Quentin's worried because there's some things that have happened and that he's found out about Margot that lead him to believe that she could possibly have killed herself wherever she's went. That's what we want to find out, and that's what this book is about. It is about the journey to finding Margot Roth Spiegelman, if she is still alive. If she's not, where did she go? Why did she leave? And throughout the journey that you take with the main character and the other characters in the book, you discover fantastic things about the characters as well as yourself. You'll actually be reading this and think, this really applies to my life in so many ways. You won't be able to believe it. It's pretty fantastic how John Green is able to relate people and characters we've never even heard of and events that you might not be able to imagine ever happening to you. And he's able to relate that somehow to the reader, and it works perfectly with Paper Towns just as it did with The Fault in Our Stars. Now, I'm not saying the book is without its faults, because, well, it is a really cool book. I was not very pleased with the ending, and I'm a big stickler when it comes to the ends of books, especially after you read a really long book. And this isn't super long, but I mean, the text it's pretty tiny compared to some young adult books. And I always think it's important to show you guys the text because that's a lot of times I'm looking for a short read, so I won't pick a really long one. But John Green, his stuff's good. Everybody should read it at least once. The ending was just not satisfying for me. While the ending did satisfy a lot of the story, it took care of a lot of loose ends. It didn't do it for me. I'm basing my review off of mainly the story itself, the thick of the story, not necessarily the ending, because I really did enjoy the story, though I didn't enjoy the ending of the book. And for that, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 stars because it is a really good read. It's really interesting. I found myself on a school night. I had school at like 8 in the morning. I had to get up for college class, and I was at like 1 or 2, still reading this. And I know that's not very late for some people, but for me, I have trouble getting out of bed in the mornings. So it's a really good read. You'll find yourself just not being able to put it down. John Green did a fantastic job with this book. I'm personally looking forward to reading some more John Green books. I have a ton of them ordered. I think all of them I have ordered because I'm just, after this and The Fault in Our Stars, they're just good books, all around good books. So 4 out of 5 stars. Go pick it up if you haven't already. Paper Towns by John Green. You won't regret it.